Hello again, YouTube. Thanks for checking out another one of my videos. Today I just wanted to go through quickly some recent pickups. I've got 5 books to show you, some pretty cool keys in here, so let's jump into it. The first book is the only one that is not slabbed, and this is Marvel Premiere number 28. This is the first appearance of the Legion of Monsters, which, as you can see, are Ghost Rider, Man-Thing, Werewolf by Night, and Morbius the Living Vampire. These guys are pretty cool. They occupy what's kind of a niche corner of the Marvel universe, and it's kind of been gaining in popularity. I don't know if that's just speculation for movie or TV, but a lot of these books have been selling pretty well. That, of course, is not why I picked this up. I'm not about the spec. I'm just about picking up cool books that I want for the personal collection, and I thought this was a cool one to add. Eventually, I would like to add the first appearances of all these other characters, and in fact, we might see one of those in a couple minutes here. So I considered sending this off for grading. When I first got it in, was taking a look at it. It is in nice shape, but I'm just not sure the value's there yet in paying for that. It looks really nice in the Mylar, and it'll look nice up on the wall as is. So there's the first book. There. The second book, while not a full first appearance, is still a first appearance, and this is Amazing Adventures 11, which is the first appearance of Furry Beast. So, of course, up to this time, Beast was still human, with kind of beast-like features, swinging around from his feet, and of course he's always had the brains, the high intellect. But in this book, this is where they Beast underwent a secondary mutation where he became furry, and I also love that on the cover he's gray, not the familiar blue that we actually know Beast as. But just a really cool book that, again, because it's not a complete first appearance, I feel like maybe it's a little undervalued. And again, I don't collect for value per se, but it's always nice when you see a book increase in value. And this is a book that I could see, going up at some point, as I do think it is a pretty significant book in the Marvel U. So, really glad to have that in a nice 7.0. All right, here's the book I was alluding to. The next one is Amazing Spider-Man number 101, first appearance of Dr. Michael Morbius, who is Morbius the Living Vampire. And I considered getting this book in a 7.0. There was one for sale on Facebook at a pretty good price. But I'm I'm a mid-grade to low-grade collector, and I thought to myself, do I really need this book in a 7.0? And I thought, obviously I decided the answer was no. I'd rather spend less money, get it in a nice 5.0, and I'm pretty happy with that. So, cool. Okay, our second last book is actually the book that I alluded to in my last video, if you watch that, as this is XMen number 94. And again, if you saw one of my previous videos, I picked up Giant Size X-Men number 1, and so the next book that was on my radar was trying to get this guy, which, again, as people say, is kind of the little brother to Giant Size 1. This is the second appearance of the new team, and their first appearance in the actual X-Men series. My giant size is a 6.0. I wanted to get this one in a grade that was similar, definitely not lower than the 6.0, so was kind of looking in the 6 to 7.0 range, and really happy that I was able to pick up a nice copy of the book in a 6.5. And finally, the last book for today is a big grail for me personally. This has always been at the top of my list. If it's not my favorite cover of all time, it's definitely in the top 2 or 3, which is why this book is so sought after. And this is Silver Surfer number 4. Try and get the glare off of there. This is cover by John Buscema. Awesome Surfer versus Thor. I'm also a big Thor fan. He's one of my favorite characters in the Marvel U. So I've always loved this book. I think that there's too large of a disparity in the price between 7.0 and 6.5 for this book. I had targeted 6.5 as kind of the sweet spot. If you look at GPA and kind of where a 5.0 goes for, 5.5, 6, 6.5, and then the jump to 7, it feels to me like the 6.5 is kind of undervalued. So I was very, very happy that I was able to pick this up at a really good price. And this was actually the first book I've bought on Instagram, from a seller on Instagram, and not using Facebook or Mercari. Went very, very smoothly. I'm very happy with how that worked out. So I've actually started to follow a lot more sellers on Instagram and keeping my eyes open for books on there as well as another place to hunt. So that's it for today. Some pretty cool books to add to the collection. They've been up on the wall already. Get them displayed with some Funko Pops up there. So just want to show those off, and thanks for watching. Take care.